The genius school beauty just publicly broke up with you, unexpectedly triggering a system prompt. Option 1. Refuse. Reward. Supreme cultivation, but you must endure 3 more years of ridicule. Option 2. Accept. Reward. Sword. God system. Not only will it instantly heal your current foundational injuries, but you'll also awaken the heaven-defying Supreme Sword Physique. You looked at the options before you and smiled faintly. Even a fool would know which to choose. With your confirmation, an unparalleled energy surged madly into your body. The next moment, you went from a cripple with severed meridians to a Qi and blood realm 5-star expert. Keep in mind, the highest cultivation among these martial arts exam candidates was merely Qi and blood realm 3-star. This was a completely different league. But before you could even rejoice, Qingxian's surprised voice suddenly rang in your ear. She never imagined you would agree so decisively. She had originally thought you would desperately beg and try to please her, so she could take the opportunity to make you transfer your family's house to her, thereby squeezing out your last bit of value. But she truly hadn't expected this outcome. So Qingxian lost it. Aren't you even going to try and win me back? What do our 2 years of relationship mean to you? Hearing this, you, however, looked utterly unfazed. Win you back? What for? What kind of brain-dead thing are you? Women only slow down the speed at which I draw my sword. Seeing you turn to leave, Qingxian fumed for a moment, then, within a second, began an outrageous speech. Su Chen, if you just try to win me back and transfer your house to my name, then maybe I'll consider not breaking up with you. After all, I can't bear to lose our 2 years of feelings either, you know. The moment Qingxian said this, the surrounding people were stunned. They had initially thought Qingxian had a change of heart and wanted to act like a decent person. But it turned out she was waiting for this moment, asking you to transfer the house to her name. She really had some nerve. Are beggars this shameless nowadays? You didn't spare Qingxian another glance. Even looking at her felt nauseating. Silence. Just then, a voice like a thunderclap boomed, overpowering all other sounds. Looking towards the source, a middle-aged man stood on the high platform. Your martial arts exam results are out. Next, we will conduct talent assessments. After completion, you can apply to your desired martial arts universities. Upon seeing this, you paused your steps. You'd almost forgotten about this part. Next, we'll proceed by academy. When your name is called, please come up. First from First High School, Su Chen. Hearing this, you were slightly taken aback, a little surprised, but then calmly walked onto the stage. Watching you ascend the stage, the expressions of the people below were complicated. Everyone knew your talent was exceptional, and they also knew your foundation was now damaged, your cultivation lost. But just as this thought formed, in the next instant, a storm of sword chi condensed around you. The sky above turned dark with storm clouds, lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled. Feeling this terrifying storm of sword chi, all the teachers and students present were forced back repeatedly, their faces pale with shock. Even the Minister of Education and a host of other dignitaries shot to their feet, their eyes wide with shock. This is actually a heavenly phenomenon. A talent assessment triggering a heavenly phenomenon. This was something that only existed in legends, yet it was unfolding before their very eyes. You, however, were unaware of what was happening, having entered a profound and mysterious state. In just a few breaths, a beam of sword light shot towards the heavens, tearing through the dark clouds. An ethereal image of an immortal appeared in the sky. A single sword strike to open the heavenly gate. This terrifying scene shook countless souls in Luo City. And at this moment, deep within the forest outside Luo City, a figure in white riding a flying sword also stopped abruptly in astonishment. An immortal sword phantom? Could it be that a sword Dao genius has emerged? As the white-robed figure spoke, he vanished from the spot in the next second. A moment later, the celestial phenomenon in the sky suddenly transformed into a beam of spiritual light that entered your body. The sky instantly cleared. Comfortable. You couldn't help but let out a breath and turned around, only to see countless gazes fixed upon you, each expression more exaggerated than the last. Didn't they say Su Chen's foundation was damaged? What the hell? A heavenly phenomenon. This is talent that only exists in legends, a talent destined for reverence and sainthood in the future. Lu Qingxian, especially, was speechless for a long time. You actually triggered a heavenly phenomenon. She naturally understood what terrifying talent this represented. But so what if his talent is good? His foundation is already damaged, irreparable. He can't cultivate. These words served as a reminder to the surrounding people, and they all frowned. If that was truly the case, it would indeed be a great pity. The Minister of Education before you naturally thought of this too. Even if your talent was unparalleled, your future achievements would be limited. Unless a saint intervened or a demon king plant was used, recovery was impossible. However, no sooner had the Minister of Education formed this thought than he was immediately proven wrong. Su Chen, I am a recruitment officer from Qingzhou University. Are you willing to join our Qingzhou University? Qingzhou University is nothing. I'm from Kyoto University. After enrollment, we will request a king-level expert from the academy to find a way to restore your foundational injuries. For a time, recruiters from various major universities, disregarding their dignity, crowded around you, making their offers. Only the recruiters from the imperial academies remained unmoved. After all, they had many geniuses to nurture and couldn't afford to gamble vast resources. But for other first-tier universities, you were an extremely precious seedling. If they could restore your injuries, their university might one day ascend to the ranks of an imperial academy. Seeing the major universities frantically vying for you, Lu Qingxian's expression turned ugly. Despite her excellent martial arts exam scores, she still couldn't compare to you. Yet faced with offers from all these first-tier universities, you smiled calmly, and right then and there chose the lower-ranked Luo City Technical School. Because just moments ago, the system had issued a prompt. As long as you chose Luo City Technical School, you would obtain a divine artifact. It's no exaggeration to say that in the entire Huaxia Federation, there were only 2 divine artifacts. Now, a simple choice could yield a heaven-defying divine artifact. Even a fool knew what to pick. However, contrary to your thoughts, everyone in the martial arts plaza was utterly dumbfounded. So many first-tier universities were fighting over you, even offering various conditions. Yet you chose a lower-ranked technical school? The Minister of Education and the principal of First Martial Arts High School were both stunned for a moment. Then their expressions changed drastically. Su Chen, don't be ridiculous. With your talent, only by entering a first-tier university can you reach your full potential. Don't joke with your future. That's right, Su Chen. Don't act rashly. Consider it carefully. Hearing this, your gaze became even more resolute. I've already made up my mind. I choose Luo City Technical School. After speaking, without waiting for anyone to object, you walked directly to the principal of Luo City Technical School. Seeing this, Lu Qingxian's heart finally calmed somewhat, and she couldn't help but sneer. Looks like you still have some self-awareness, knowing you're not worthy of a prestigious university, only fit for a garbage heap. Little Missy, watch your words. Back in its heyday, my Luo City Technical School suppressed even the imperial academies. Half the martial arts universities in Huaxia combined couldn't compare to my Luo City Tech. If it weren't for... The old man's expression shifted slightly here, and he didn't continue. Su Chen, have you thought this through? The conditions they offered, my Luo City Tech. Hearing this, you directly interrupted him, and then, under the astonished gazes of the crowd, signed your name on the application form. Seeing this, the old man instantly threw his head back and laughed. Ha 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 ha! Good. From now on, you are a student of Luo City Technical School. And just then, the system prompt sounded. Ding! Congratulations, host, for obtaining the ancient divine artifact, the Dragon Abyss Sword. Mission triggered. Enter the abyss beneath Luo City Technical School and slay 100 foreign race. Reward, Sword Dao Physique Enhancement. As the system's voice sounded, you smiled faintly. Seeing this, the recruitment officers from the other universities said no more and turned to leave. The people from the imperial academies even sneered, shook their heads, and paid no further attention. So what if his talent is good? With a damaged foundation and inability to cultivate, he's destined to be trash. Ha, Su Chen, I thought you had higher standards. To choose Luo City Technical School, truly shameful. Oh, right, I get it now. You're trying to get my attention this way, aren't you? I only agreed to be with you before because of your family background. But who knew you were actually a goddamn bastard your mother is? Smack! Before Qingxian could finish her sentence, she felt a tremendous force strike her face. Her body flew backward, blood and teeth scattering from her mouth. Say that again, and I'll kill you. Your voice carried a terrifying killing intent, like a beast about to go berserk. Witnessing this, the surrounding crowd was completely dumbfounded. Who could have predicted such a turn of events? But this Qingxian was truly shameless. You dare hit me! You're dead! Qingxian scrambled to her feet, her face contorted with rage. The next instant, she lunged, attacking you, aiming for your vitals. She was a peak Qi and Blood Realm 2-star about to break through to 3-star. Among the many martial arts exam candidates, she was considered top tier. How dare a discarded piece of trash like you? However, sensing Qingxian's attack, which she was so proud of, you merely smiled. Then you brought your fingertips together, and a beam of sword chi suddenly shot out, tearing through the air, aimed straight at Qingxian. Seeing this, Qingxian was scared witless. This wasn't a joke. You genuinely intended to kill her. But just as the sword key was about to strike her forehead, a flicker of spiritual light flashed past, blocking your attack. So ruthless at such a young age. The one who intervened was Leng Mengqiu, a recruitment officer from Star River University, a marquis realm cultivator. She held Qingxian in high regard. How could she stand by and watch Qingxian be killed? Qingxian is already a student of my Star River University. Attacking her will be considered a declaration of war against Star River University. By your logic, if you attack Su Chen, should I also consider it a declaration of war against Luo City Technical School? The old man also stepped forward, shielding you. Mengqian, don't resort to sophistry. I'm merely following your logic, and suddenly it's sophistry. Are all you so-called first-tier universities and imperial academies this disgusting? The old man, completely unfazed, continued, I'll make myself clear today. If you dare touch a single hair on Su Chen's head, I'll call upon the people of Luo City Technical School right now to deal with you. Mengqian's ruffian-like demeanor made Leng Mengqiu fume. My Star River University is not afraid of your Luo City Tech. However, just as Leng Mengqiu finished speaking, a light chuckle was heard. Gentlemen, ladies, you've all lived long lives. Why still so fiery? The next second, under the bewildered gazes of the crowd, the white-robed figure appeared before you, looking at you with a gentle and amiable expression. Sword Heavenly King! Mengqian recognized the person before him and exclaimed in shock. This was a genuine martial king, and one of Huaxia's 36 heavenly kings at that. The Sword Heavenly King. His swordsmanship could be called the best in Huaxia. Why was he here now? Everyone present, including Leng Mengqiu, also recognized the Sword Heavenly King. After their initial shock, they hurriedly bowed respectfully. However, the Sword Heavenly King paid them no mind. Instead, he grabbed your hand and checked your spiritual energy. He discovered that your foundational injuries were indeed severe, yet there seemed to be a subtle power suppressing your injuries. Moreover, he clearly sensed your cultivation was at Qi and Blood Realm 5-star. This level was quite high for someone your age. Indeed, your foundation is damaged. The Sword Heavenly King frowned, looking at you. But a Demon King plant can heal your injuries. With the resources of an Imperial Academy or these first-tier universities, they could find a Demon King plant for you. The Sword Heavenly King's meaning was clear. He truly couldn't understand why you would choose Luo City Technical School. I know, but I don't need it. You didn't elaborate. You couldn't very well say you had a system, could you? All right. Hearing this, the Sword Heavenly King shook his head helplessly, then spoke with renewed seriousness. If, in half a year, your foundational injuries haven't recovered, I will personally find a Demon King plant to restore them for you. The Sword Heavenly King's words sent a jolt through everyone present. The Sword Heavenly King valued you so highly that he would personally seek out a Demon King plant for you. For a moment, those first-tier universities felt a pang of regret. If they had known the Sword Heavenly King would offer his assistance, they would have gained a prodigy capable of summoning a heavenly phenomenon. But now, regret was useless. You were already a student of Luo City Technical School, and the Sword Heavenly King's next words utterly shocked everyone present. "I've loved the way of the sword since I was a child. Would you be willing to become sworn brothers with me?" What the... When the Sword Heavenly King's words fell, even you were stunned. What did he mean? Sworn brothers? The Minister of Education and the recruitment officers from the various universities nearby were completely dumbfounded. That was the Sword Heavenly King, the strongest among martial kings. And he actually... Under the astonished gazes of the crowd, the Sword Heavenly King chuckled. "I originally intended to take you as my disciple, but now it seems I'm not qualified to be your teacher. Your talent in the sword Tao surpasses mine. You have your own unique path of the sword. If I were to teach you, I fear I would hinder your future." When the Sword Heavenly King's slightly regretful voice sounded, everyone in the martial arts plaza felt their minds reel from the impact of his words. For them, forget a heavenly king, even if a martial king was willing to take them as a disciple. It would be an immense honor, enough to warrant a separate page in their family genealogy. But when it came to you, a heavenly king personally said he wasn't fit to be your master. Just how heaven-defying was your talent? But in truth, the Sword Heavenly King had his own considerations. Firstly, because your talent was terrifying. You were destined to grow into a supreme expert, perhaps even break through to the Saint Realm and step into legendary echelons. He wanted to ensure you could grow smoothly. In other words, he wanted to be your protector. Secondly, because the Sword Heavenly King truly valued you and wished to nurture someone who could surpass him in the Sword Tao. I'm just a Qi and Blood Realm brat. I'm afraid I'd tarnish the Sword Heavenly King's reputation, you said, somewhat surprised and hesitant. Ha 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 ha. Hearing this, the Sword Heavenly King roared with laughter. Your future achievements will not be beneath mine. To say such things is to look down on yourself. You smiled helplessly, then finally said, Then I am honored by the Sword Heavenly King's high regard. Ha ha ha. Good. My name is Liu Wushuang. You can call me Big Brother Liu from now on. Consider this my welcoming gift to you. As he spoke, a storage ring appeared in the Sword Heavenly King's hand, and he pressed it into yours. This was a priceless treasure, and within the storage ring were vast cultivation resources. Many thanks, Big Brother Liu, you said, clasping your fist. You yourself were a bit dazed. You'd somehow gained a heavenly king as a sworn brother. Wouldn't you be able to walk sideways wherever you went from now on? Someone like Leng Mengqiu from earlier? You could probably slap her a few times, and she'd just have to take it. Thinking this, you couldn't help but chuckle just as you heard the Sword Heavenly King speak. Little Qiu, let this matter rest. You're not a child anymore. Why are you still bickering with youngsters? Hearing this, Leng Mengqiu could only nod repeatedly. Yes, I was out of line in this matter. Seeing this, you smiled inwardly. This was the power of strength. If the Sword Heavenly King hadn't appeared, who knows what trouble that old woman would have stirred up. Lu Qingxian stood behind Leng Mengqiu, her heart burning with fury, glaring daggers at you. You clearly had such talent and ability. Why didn't you tell her? If you had told her, she wouldn't have stood up now to break up with you. Now look, after all this, she was the clown, and you had become someone she couldn't even hope to reach. It's all your fault, our 2 years of relationship. You actually hid this from me. In the end, this is all your fault. And just as Lu Qingxian was about to step forward and vent her anger, the master of the Luo City Martialist Hall spoke first. Brother Su Chen, I am Luo Tianhe, master of the Luo City Martialist Hall. I wonder if Brother Su Chen would be willing to join our Martialist Hall. Of course, the Martialist Hall won't require you to do anything. Just hold an honorary position. Every year, the Martialist Hall will provide you with a stipend of 100 million, as well as the treatment of an elder. Once these words were spoken, the surrounding people were even more astounded, shocked, speechless. You had to know, to become an elder in the Martialist Hall, one needed a cultivation of at least Marquis Realm 6-star or higher, and you were currently only at Qi and Blood Realm 5-star. There were several major realms between them. Anyone could see that the Martialist Hall was trying to curry favor with you. And after he spoke, he didn't even give you a chance to refuse, directly stuffing a card and a token into your hand. Then it's settled. Brother Su, if you have time, do come visit the Martialist Hall more often. Your mouth twitched. Indeed, one still had to make oneself valuable. This principle was true everywhere. Witnessing this scene, the surrounding students no longer knew what to say, their hearts filled with overwhelming shock. They could only stare blankly at you, wondering with envy why they couldn't even compare to a single hair on your head. Lu Qingxian felt even worse. She had thought the Sword Heavenly King becoming your sworn brother was already outrageous. Now, you had instantly become an elder of the Martialist Hall. It was no exaggeration to say that your current starting point was an end point that many people wouldn't reach even after graduation, or even in their entire lifetime of effort. Lu Qingxian's expression was complicated. It wasn't exactly regret, just a feeling that she had spoken of breaking up too soon. But after 2 years of relationship and you liking her so much, she didn't believe you could move on so quickly. So she began another outrageous speech. Su Chen, I admit I was a bit loud just now. Actually, I was just momentarily confused and made a mistake any girl would make. I've always liked you. Let's get back together. Speaking to this point, Lu Qingxian immediately put on a pitiful, touchingly pitiful act. If you don't believe me, I can let you hold my hand. Hearing Lu Qingxian's words, not just you, but even the other students were dumbfounded. Just how thick-skinned did a person have to be to say something like that? Even Meng Qian, despite his age and experience, felt he couldn't handle this. What the hell is this thing? Su Chen glanced at Lu Qingxian, feeling only disgust. At the same time, he felt his original self must have been blind or truly desperate to fall for such a creature. She still thought he was that devoted simp, the pleasant goat emperor? Dream on. The next moment, under Lu Qingxian's astonished gaze, you slammed your fist into her face. Lu Qingxian's already somewhat swollen face swelled up even more, like a pig's head. However, you didn't stop there. Instead, you launched into a brutal assault, punching and kicking.